of Europe from 1700 to 2022. 1700 to 1721. Great Northern War between the Russian and Swedish empires, which basically consisted of two teams. And the Great Northern War was a conflict in which a coalition led by the Tsardom of Russia successfully contested the supremacy of Swedish Empire in northern, central and eastern Europe. And in Prussia, they have a new king called King Frederick I. Then starts the Great War of the Spanish Succession, involving most of continental Europe. Forget about Africa and stuff. The War of the Spanish Succession was a European great power conflict that took place from 1701 to 1714. The death of Charles II of Spain in November 1700 led to a struggle for control of the Spanish Empire between his heirs, Philip of Anjou and Charles of Austria, and their respective supporters, among them Spain, Austria, France, and the Dutch Republic, Savoy, and Great Britain. Related conflicts include the 1700 to 1721 Great Northern War. Well, I already explained about it. And there was also another one like Rákóczi's War of Independence in Hungary, the Camisards' Revolt, which I am about to explain soon, in France, Queen Anne's War in North America, and minor trade wars in India and South America. So yeah, that was the case in Europe back in the early 700s. So, Camisard rebellion starts in France. Now, what is the meaning of Camisard? Camisards were Huguenots, actually French Protestants of the rugged and isolated Cevennes region. Where? What is it about it? The neighboring Valois in southern France. In the early 700s, they raised a resistance against the persecutions which followed Louis XIV's, aka the longest resigning king in the world, revocation of the Edict of Nantes, making Protestantism illegal. St. Petersburg is found by Peter the Great. That's why St. Petersburg. And it is the Russian capital until 1918, when it changes to Moscow by the Soviet Union. Anyways, the Rákóczi uprising against the Habsburg monarchy. Then, back in the War of the Spanish Succession, French troops defeated at the battles of Ramillies and Turin. Then, in 1707, the Act of Union is passed, merging Scottish and England parliaments, thus establishing the Kingdom of Great Britain. Only Great Britain because it had not yet conquered the world. Then the Company Merchants of London and the East Indies merged to form the United Company of Merchants to England trading to the East Indies. Famine killed 1/3 of the East Prussia's population. Then what is famine? I don't know. And in 1709, the Great Frost of 1709 marks the coldest winter in 500 years. Too much. Contributing to the defeat of Sweden at Poltava. Now what is Poltava? Well, the Battle of Poltava, 8 July 1709, was a decisive and the largest battle of the Great Northern War. Basically, there is a war, and inside that there are battles, small battles. A Russian army under the command of the command of Tsar Peter I defended a Swedish army under the command of Karl Gustav. Okay, you tell me the pronunciation. The battle put an end to the status of the Swedish Empire as a European great power as well as its eastbound expansion and marked the beginning of Russian hegemony in northern Europe. Then in Ottomans, the Russo-Turkish War, I know it's a weird name, Russo-Turkish War, and regained Azov. Now what is Azov? Well, basically, it is a small town in Russia, and its flag has got fists and some, I don't know what you call it, in the Rostov Oblast. Well, they have Rostov here, so yeah. Basically, that also meant that they also killed dissolved regions and went there. Otherwise, how can they just drop a bomb over there? Because dropping bombs were only invented in 1945. Anyways, continuing in the 1710 new decade, the Tuskora War between the British, Dutch and German settlers and the Tuskara people of North Carolina. Yeah, it's not in main Europe, but let us just show the change. And in Germany, you see what a mess it is like there, right? Then, in Amsterdam, Daniel Gabriel Fahrenheit invents the mercury in glass thermometer, which remains the most reliable and accurate thermometer until the electronic era. So it was so accurate until the electronic era. Electronic era, basically everything is accurate there at that point. Then, still in UK, the Jacobite rising breaks out. The British halt to the Jacobite advance at the Battle of Semmesford, Battle of Preston. Then, after that, there's a weird name. The Austro-Venetian-Turkish War. Basically, Venetian is Vento and Turkish is, well, Turkish. And C4 Turkish. Boy, this is a weird chain. Anyways, the city of New Orleans is founded by the French in North America. Then the War of the Quadruple Alliance between Spain, France, Britain, Austria, basically they are all scattered. And Dutch Republic. Yeah, it's like that only. Anyways, the tulip period of the Ottoman Empire. But aren't the tulips from Dutch? Basically, I don't know that now. Then, the Great Plague of Marseille. Basically, what a last major outbreak of bubonic plague in Western Europe. Arriving in Marseille, France, in 1720, the disease killed a total of 100,000 people. That's a lot. Now, it basically killed at least this much of the army. 500 in the city during the next 2 years and another 500 to the north and just surrounding provinces and towns. Complete loss. Then, the Treaty of Nystad is signed, ending the war of the Great Northern War. Then, after that, the Russo-Persian War. What are these Russos now? I didn't even get Azerbaijan. Iran was neutral, or Persia. Then, slavery is abolished in Russia. Peter the Great converts household slaves into house serfs. What's a serf? Serfdom was the status of many peasants. What's a peasant? A peasant is pre-industrial agricultural laborer under federalization, specifically relating to manorialism and similar systems. I did not understand anything from this now. Then, the Austro-Spanish alliance revived. How do we do this now? their drawings in 1726. Then the Anglo-Spanish War ends insuccessively. The Anglo-Spanish War of 1727 to 1729 was a limited war that took place between Great Britain and Spain during the late 1720s and consisted most of a failed Spanish attempt to capture Gibraltar. Gibraltar is too small, so I cannot show that change. And consisted of failed Spanish attempt to capture Gibraltar and an unsuccessful British blockade to Portobello. Then Muhammad I takes over the Ottoman Empire after the Patrona-Halil revolt, ending the Tulip period. What is this Tulip period? Then the Crimean Tatar raids into Russia, or the Crimean Khanate, you can call. Fun fact, the amount of minutes have passed are 17. And amount of seconds, the year which we are counting. War of the Polish Succession. Was a major European conflict sparked by a Polish civil war over the succession to Augustus II of Poland, which was basically in the Spanish succession also, with the other European powers widened pursuit of their own national interests. France and Spain, the two Bourbon powers, attempted to test the power of the Austrian Habsburgs in Western Europe and did the Kingdom of Prussia, Wales, Saxony, and Russia mobilized to support the eventual Polish victory. Basically, they are already like that. Saxony is an alliance, Persia is an alliance, and Russia is an alliance. When I listened to Russia and Saxony was politically supported by the Habsburgs or Augustus II. This is the Habsburgs and this is the Poland Lithuania. Weird. Then the Austro-Russo-Turkish War. What is this? And they are already in war with those now. Yep. Then the Great Britain and Spain fight the War of Jack and Jill in the Caribbean. This is not the Caribbean, so I'm not gonna talk about it. Let us go to India. Now there saw the feature pan-Indian army of 300,000 at the Battle of Karnal. Taxation is stopped in Iran for 3 years. No tax in Iran. Then famine. Remember before also there was a famine thing. Let us see. meaning the year of slaughter. This does not sound good. The famine in Ireland killed only 20% of the population. Over here, Russia invades Dagestan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, and Oman. Then Maratha invades Bengal in India. The War of the Austrian Succession. Many of successions have passed, but this is only 8 years this time. Marvel's Mill, the first water-powered cotton mill, began operation in England. Another Ottoman-Persian war involves 375,000 men, but ultimately ends in a settlement. Yeah, that's weird. So where are the men? Anyways, the first Saudi state, aka Najd, is founded by Muhammad ibn Saud. That's why it's Saudi. Battle of Toulon is fought against the coast of France. But of what? The first Carnatic war is fought between the British, the French, the Marathas and Mysore in India. The second Jacobite rising is begun by Charles Edward Stuart in Scotland. What are these Jacobites doing? Then the Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle ends the War of the Austrian Succession and Fourth Carnatic War. The Second Carnatic War is fought between the British, the French and the Marathas and Mysore in India. Again, and in 1750, peak of the Little Ice Age. What is this part now? So yeah, that is from 1700 to 1750. Although it has been long, next part will be 1750 to 1800 and so on within every 50 years. So bye and thank you.